Hey profit takers, welcome back to another video. Today I have a special announcement. We are having a huge sale, it's a flash sale on the Profit Takers Alert dashboard for MT4 and 5. So you get them both guys at 50% off. All right. So let's go over real quick, the indicator that I use all the time to get me prepared the day before. Right, the day before for the markets. So for example, one of my favorite signals is what I call the PTAD 33 trade. So what that is, guys, is you will see, for example, I'll look at some of these at say 3, but for today we had oil, the Dow, okay, and then NQ. We'll look at these 3, and they were all showing 3 peak formation. Okay, so there was 3 peak formation, and on the previous day breaks, okay, they were showing 2. Okay, and these were all peak formation high trades. Now, so when I see a 32, for example, the 3 peak and 2 previous day low setups, which is what I call, the 33 trade, because what I'm looking for is price to break the low for the 3rd time. Okay. So Monday, I took this trade. This was a beautiful signal. It actually, what I really kind of want to go over real quick is on Friday, as you can see, guys. Now, this is something that, that I incorporated from learning Stacy Burke. Okay. I continue to sharpen my skills. Okay. I am still working on myself 1% every time, just like he says, right? I don't know if you guys are familiar, but you definitely got to check Stacy Burke out. All right. So Friday, this was the high, right? And so the indicator confirmed Monday that this was a peak. Okay. So it was a peak formation high. Okay. And as we can see here, this was the low for Friday, and the low got broken, so it got extended. All right. And the cool thing about it is it also closed below the open price. It doesn't always close below the open price. Sometimes it closed slightly below. Sometimes it's so even, right? But when it closes right below, I literally sent my friend in the inner circle, be like, hey, we got a first red day here. Like should be a solid signal. Okay. So I took this trade on Tuesday. This was a beautiful trade. We had 3 levels of rise right to the high. Nice M, and boom, it was gone. All right. So Tuesday, because this was showing a 1, right? This is what I would call the day 2 trend trade, which happens to just match the week template, right? Because if you follow Stacy, he counts it as just like this, right? Wednesday's a reset, and then right 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I would count it because my background is on Steve Murrow, BTMM, where, the count is like this: 1, 2, 3, and 4, because today's technically Friday in the trading world, but it's still 4 because it's still Thursday for me. Right. So technically it's 4 in the trading world. Okay. Let's not get confused. So one of the things that I added to the indicator was to count the previous day breaks, because after we have a peak, it counts it from this day. 1 break here. The next day, this low got broken. So that's 2, right? So Thursday, today, I was saying, okay, we have 2 breaks. Now I'm looking for the 3rd one, which is the 33 trade, the PTAD 33 trade. And it did just what I needed it to do, right, was to break it. Okay. So that is how I look at that. All right. And how I get myself prepared for this particular trade. And then here's another thing. I already talked about this being the day 2 trend trade, right? So you had the one peak formation. So we have 2 days, right? So when I look back, on Friday, because, we want to go 3 days back, right, for the third day trade, this is technically what, would be called a 3 day short trade. Okay. So that was the Tuesday trade. Now on the Wednesday trade, right? What I would call my day three, because I'm counting it like this, right? I'm trying not to confuse y'all, but it actually lined up perfectly with the normal weekly template. So on this day three, I'm looking at this as a day three continuation trade because we've had one break and now we're looking for the second, and it's 3 days of the peak confirming, right? This is technically like a reset, right? Because this would be the peak. Sometimes, this right now, I would count this as perhaps like a reset, but nonetheless, this is the peak. All right. And this is how I would trade the signals, right? And even up to today when we were looking for the third break to come in. Okay. All right. So let's go to DJ real quick, because this one also was showing the 33 trade. So here's the thing. Sometimes the 33 trade will change the trend, which it did today, right? After we got the actual, after this short happened, because as we can see here, we had the high and the low, boom, boom, boom. Actually, I was trying to get this low right here. We had the short, which was a beautiful short. Okay. Now this short actually happened right at 8:30. Okay. Was it 8:30? Yes, 8:30. Let me check one thing real quick. I'm in Central Time. So the market's open at 9:30 for y'all if you're in Eastern Time. 8:30 for me. Okay. So being that it's a new month, now I am looking at this month of May. Now I'm gonna confirm this on tomorrow, because typically the first hour will set the high and low, and then the market opens. But this time when the high was set at 7, basically we're at the high, and then when the market opened, we dropped. Okay. And then the reversal came in at 9:30 for me, which would be 10:30 for y'all. So literally like around 9 o'clock, the reversal was setting in to build the first leg of the W. Okay. Let me get to a smaller time frame so you can see it. Right. So after this drop right here, when the market opened, boom, that was the 33 trade complete. Okay. So once that happened, I already knew that we were possibly going to go long based off of the low that was placed here, and that this trend was going to change. So by the time it built this second leg, guys, did not start pushing up until noon, my time. Okay. 1 o'clock Eastern time. So that is the leg that you want to technically be in. You do not want to be, unless it really depends. All right. If you want to be holding on to all this, I don't. Okay. I would prefer to just wait for that second leg to come in so I can go ahead and go long. Right. And the other thing, and I don't know if this, again, this could be a reset. I hope this isn't going to be like this next week. But this last push was at the end of the day in power hour. Right. This is about 3 o'clock. Okay. And I'm just going to wait and see how tomorrow is going to, if the timing is going to be the same. Typically it is. And then we're going to see how next week, how the timing cycle goes. So hopefully they'll bring these last pushes of the day a little bit closer. Cause I don't want to be here until 3 o'clock. Right. I would prefer to just take the first market open trade and then take the reversal, if applicable, from noon, right, for about 30 minutes to an hour, and then just be done. So my work hours here looks like they're going to be from 7 to 12, and I'll have a break in between here and there, and then come back to the charts. Okay, so that's my goal here in this new timing cycle, if that's how it's going to hold up for the rest of this month of May. Okay, so we'll just see how that works. So G G GJ. Let's look at GJ. So GJ was also a 3. It was a 3 peak formation high today. This one only hadn't quite broken, right, all of the structure, right? Because usually 3 breaks of the low or the high, that's a really good indication that something's happening. Okay, I'm trying to clear this out. Okay, it's acting a little funny. Okay, here we go. So let's check this out, guys. So we had a high and a low. We had a huge range, okay, the beginning of the week. And then prices, ended up coming inside, and they never broke the high, okay? They never broke the high of Tuesday, right? So this is a mixture of the initial balance high for Tuesday, right? Another thing I learned from Stacy, and we added this to the indicator, okay? And here it is. Let me just go here. I mean, it's technically, I'm just going to go look here. We have 2 days of range. Okay. Let me clear this. So we have 2 days of range. The third day is going to be your trade. That's typically how it happens. So what price did and what the markets did for us, if you were looking at this market on Tuesday and you're like, another way to keep you out of this trade, because you're like, okay, when are they going to drop? Right? You could have just measured it from here and waited until you had, 50% of the range, which actually came on Wednesday. Right? So this second day of the range gave you the trade. And it did what we needed it to do, which was break this low. So once that low was broken, guys, it's on and popping. So there's a second low that needs to happen, right? And so what you do, this little secret or this little breadcrumb that price left you, I take that, I go up to the high of the week, to the low, and then this is the area that I'm looking to enter. Okay. And my target will typically be, because this was such a gigantic pin, that is my target. I don't know if they're going to break that, right? Just like today in oil, I wasn't sure if they were going to break that. So that is the target, right? That's when you want to be out of that trade. All right. And that was easy, too easy, but it wasn't a trade that I was even looking at. All right. I took the dollar CAD trade today because this one was a 3-day trade, because this was showing 2. Okay. All right. And we had a clue here. Okay. We had our first day here because this was where the peak was established. And then our second day here where we got this, a bona fide signal for a red day. All right. And we can see that prices closed below the open. And so now here's your open price. So another thing Stacy says all the time is he only takes the trades from the previous day high, the close price of last night, or the previous day low, or any of these other major levels. If price is close to any of these major levels, that is where you want to take your price trades from the extremes. Okay. So that's how, with this clue here, and when I saw this low here, guys, I was like, yep, this is the trade. This is the currency pair that I am taking today. And I held this thing all the way until I closed today in the market. It was Friday. I already closed the trade, but I took this thing, guys, and it was a beautiful trade. All right. So, and again, this was what I would call the day 3 short continuation, or the day 3 trend trade, or the day 3, I never know which one I'm going to stick with, but it's still a day 3 trade. Right. So I love looking at these signals, right? When I see 2 and 2, right? This could also mean a reversal has come in because it's already hit the low, or the high or whatever of the in the market for the breakout, and it's a day 3 trade. So I would look at that and see if there's an opportunity if that's a pair that you trade, right? So that's how I look at it. So anything with the 1, that is typically a day 2 trend trade. Anything with a 2, that's a 3-day trade. And then anything with a 4, or 4 days, I'm sorry, 3, it's the 4 days into the peak. And yeah, I just go and take a peek and see. So you'll find out which one of these trade setups resonate with you, that you want to take and you want to master and you want to define your edge with. And for me, it has definitely been the 33 trade that I just mentioned, which can change the trend or not. It hasn't changed this trend yet, okay? But it did change the indices, all right? And then, of course, the trend trades, which I would call these 1 peak formations. Those are the day 2 trades, right? Where it could be a 2-day, a day 2 trend trade, like I was showing you. Okay, all right. Like this would have been the day 2 trend trade to go short here with FMOC, right? So yesterday I did not trade FMOC. I was just like, I will just wait. You know what I mean? Because it was just like, there's so much news, and it's even, a lot of people don't trade it, but I think next month I'll probably trade it, just because it was such, once the market blinked a little bit, you know how it kind of like, like a little electricity, and then it went into its trend. I could have just got into that trend, but for whatever reason, I just totally did not feel comfortable, because at the moment Jerome says something, the market responds. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, let me just not do that. So let me just wait. And I'm kind of glad I waited, because I did get in a very, very good trade today in the dollar CAD, oil, and gold. I took that. Okay. And I took this low hanging fruit trade on gold. We had a beautiful opportunity to short this right to the low. It was a great trade. Okay. All right, guys. So again, this indicator, guys, is on sale. So basically what it is the annual price, which is $225. I took this 50% off. So it's 113 lifetime access. You will get both MT4 and MT5. If you haven't tried it, try it. You have 14 days to try it for free. And you'll just come here and you'll pick whichever one that you're using, if it's MT4 or MT5. And again, this is an indicator, guys. It's not an EA. It's just an indicator. What you're going to do is select free trial, put your MT4, actually this is MT5 one that I selected. So I would put my MT5 number there, and then I'll just proceed to check out. Okay. And then try it before you buy it, because it's all sales are final, because you have 14 days to try this thing to see if it's going to be a fit for you. And again, this is a lifetime access. Okay. Another thing is, this was because the trial will give you a license. The manual file, this actual lifetime one, you will not get a license key. You will get a manual file from me. So you're going to need to give me some time to get it to you. So I will work these as soon as possible once I'm finished trading to email you. So be sure that the email that you sign up with is the email that you actually use. Okay. Then make sure you spell it right. Now, for whatever reason, if you need to, if you can't get, now I believe you should be able to put in all the numbers in here. Okay. Let's just say I put that number here and I say MT5, and then I put MT4 and then I put a number, right? You can do it like that. Actually put a space, do something with a colon. Do something like that. Hopefully it comes through on my side. If I have any questions, it doesn't come through, I will email you just to make sure what it is. But again, these are going to be manually delivered. So give me time to do this. Okay. And I'll look to get it done within 24 hours. All right. Again, these will not be, you would not get a license file. You won't need to do anything like that because it's a lifetime access. So you're just going to get a manual file from me. Okay. But if you're testing it out, this will give you a license for you to test it out. And then after 14 days, it will expire and you won't have access. All right. Okay. So that is it, guys. If you have any questions, you can always email me, support@profittakeeralerts.com. Again, support@profittakeeralerts.com. All right, guys. Thank you. And we will see you in the next one.